Welcome to Quarantine Box Heroes. No, I'm joking. Welcome to Soapbox Heroes. How are you guys doing out there? You guys are having a wonderful day, being inside, being productive, doing the things that we do in times like this. It is amazing how fast things are moving when you get on the freeway and you just drive through and you slice through. Amazing. It's amazing. The times that we are living in. I have on my mask today, but I have pulled it down so I can safely speak to you. Look, today I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders dropped out of the race. Bernie Sanders said, hey, goodbye. Yes, Bernie Sanders has he's left the race. He is gone. He is vamoose, finished. No more debates, no more running for president, and I don't know if he's ever going to run again. So he cleared the path for Joe Biden to have the nomination for the Democratic presidential candidate of the United States of America. And I want to ask you guys this. Look, I'm going to challenge you guys. Now, look, and I'm not trying to start a fight. I want this to be a civil conversation. I would like you to persuade me into believing that Joe Biden deserves my vote. Now, I'm asking you from a voter's perspective. I'm on the fence. In fact, you can persuade me, and I would like somebody to do it. Don't tell me that I should just do it just because he's better than the alternative. Tell me why he's better than the alternative. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm saying, as somebody who's, sitting on the fence, meandering through, the news of the day, the news of the past, looking at policies and people, reasons and why, I want to know if somebody can say, hey, these are the reasons you should vote for Joe Biden. And, and I understand he's not Donald Trump. So I'm going to tell you that right off the top. I understand that fully and completely. All right. Also, we're going to talk about, the coronavirus numbers. How are they being counted? Well, how are they being counted when it comes down to the actual death toll? How are numbers being counted? Because we're getting different variations of how the numbers are being counted. And some people are wondering, well, if we are putting a projection of a number that is too high, is that stoking fear in people? Is it stoking fear in people? Or is the number accurate? Again, we got some, and like I said, these are just things that, it crossed my mind. And again, I'm not trying to cause no harm. It's just a simple question. I feel as if a candidate is worthy of someone's vote, you should be able to express why. And it shouldn't be in the tone of platitudes. You should be able to say, you know what? These are the policies that I like. These are the things that, grab my attention. This is the way that this person communicates. Whatever it is that your reason, it shouldn't, well, here, let's just say today. Can it not just be because he's not the other guy? I understand he's not the other guy. Still want to know what I'm getting into. I still want to know what is it that is coming next? Because look, I get it. I get it. People say, well, you can't get any worse. Well, people always say that until it gets worse. And so I want to make sure that it's not going to get worse. And I think that that is a fair question. I think it is I have a fair motive. My motive is to just understand. I would like to understand. And, a persuadable voter. And to say, you're dumb. You just don't get it. That's not going to work. Remember, you're trying to get voters, not run them away. And so a fair question is a fair question. And so that today is my question. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. The phone number is 713-668-1230. 713-668-1230. You got a caller on the line. Caller, what's on your mind? This is Soapbox Hero.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. And I listened to you all last night, and I am so sorry. I didn't realize I should have called in and said something, but I left the knife and the fight alone. I was laughing, but I didn't call.
It's okay. I'm just glad that you were listening. I appreciate it. What did you forget to say? What did you want to say?
Oh, about last night or tonight?
Both. How about that?
Okay.
Let's start with last night. What did you have to say about last night? I thought last night was pretty funny. What did you think?
It was pretty funny because I'm like, okay, everybody got a violence, and then they want to stop and say, oh, no, it's your fault, no, it's your fault. And then you got a knife behind your back and no, it's your fault, and no, it's your fault. I'm like,
right.
Oh, my God. So my daddy raised me like this. Your mama raised me like, I'm like, oh, my God. Whole little baby standing there looking there. All they want is a bottle of milk, and they don't know what to do. Right. I'm not going to cry because I might get hit.
Right. All the baby wants is some milk in to be burped, and they over there going at it. What's on your mind about tonight? What do you think, PK? I want somebody to tell me, and just in a civil way, why Joe Biden is a good candidate. Why should I give him my vote?
I would give him my vote because if I don't, that's going to put that idiot in the White House. So I give Joe Biden my vote because I don't see anybody else coming up there against him. And then if they do come up against him, that's going to separate that vote and still put that idiot back in the White House. So
okay.
I got to get Joe all the way.
Okay, now this is my question, PK. How do I know I'm not putting another idiot in the White House?
You know what? He might be, but he's an idiot for the people. This other idiot is out for himself with all his hidden money, with all his talking crazy to people, with all his sending his henchmen to do stuff. No, I'd rather have an idiot that halfway care for me than the one that's going to be like the people last night.
Okay, nope. I hear you. No. You an idiot that more or less cares for you. Okay. I'm just trying to get the sentiment of, why, because this is what happens, PK. After the vote, people will say, well, like with Bernie Sanders, I noticed a lot today, well, his voters aren't gonna vote. You guys are just bitter. And my thing was like, well, instead of coming at them like that, how about you guys tell them why they should vote for Joe Biden instead of just tearing them down, because that's not going to help. Go ahead.
And you know what? I think Bernie is really sick, and he's trying to keep that shit, and he's just bowing out politely so it won't be discovered, and he won't get sick in the White House or right at the end of coming to the end of the race and still let that idiot take over. I really do, because I look at him and I look at his face and I look at everything. And I think he's just bowing out politely without saying anything.
Okay.
Especially since he turned it over,
Yeah, that's okay. Well, I haven't looked at that. That's something that we'll be able to sit back and look at and see how that unravels. But okay, PK, I hear you.
That's because you're not as old as I am. That's why.
Oh yeah. I can't. I'm not as good as looking at them and being able to figure out as hell. But you may see something that I'm just not ready to see yet, or can't see yet.
Right. Keep on living now, baby. They get there.
Okay, BK, I'm trying by taking your advice. I think that's
Okay.
helping.
All right. All right. I'll see y'all later.
All right, you have a good one, PK. We appreciate you. 12:30 the source. This is Soapbox Heroes caller. What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
So which idiot do you vote for?
See, well, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Or what if I just say I'm just going to vote down ballot, or I'm going to write somebody in. If I don't want the lesser of two evils, let's say I don't vote for either evil. And I know you're going to say, well, I'm not. Well, you know what? That wouldn't be fair for me to say what you're going to say. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Man, they'll be fortunate if I just people and go vote for other spots on the ballot for people that really care about us. We don't understand this history that we have that keeps us on the bottom in this country, and we keep doing the same things, and that's why we stay on in this country. Hey, how about an accountability package with Mr. Biden says, look, we voted for you, the black folks voted for you. What are you people? What's your plan? We ain't even asking those questions. We are the line up to vote for them with no plan, no goals, no targets or nothing.
Well,
so that's why we get nothing, and we go happy away thinking we got something. Empty bag.
And that's why I'm asking, because I'm just trying to see the reasoning. I'm trying to figure out.
I appreciate that.
Why why does he deserve my vote? And I understand people are going to say, well, he's not Donald Trump, and I understand that. But I remember when people were saying, well, he's not George Bush. Or you could go back on and on and on, and it's always, well, it can't get worse, and then it gets worse. Then it can't get worse, and then it gets worse. And we have a president now who has exposed so many holes in the Constitution. Who's going to use their power just because they smile and use their power to wield the sword over you doesn't mean that they're being fair. And so I just want to make sure I'm not jumping out of one bucket of poop to another bucket of poop.
But look, when we don't even know how to hold our own people accountable, I'm talking about locally. We ain't gonna hold the president accountable. What's insane is what we're doing as a people to help raise our own vote, and then looking for somebody else to get the job done. We don't even know what we're asking for. We just want the man to stop yelling. Just don't have somebody in the White House yelling at us. Just yelling in general, yelling these overtones or whatever. We don't even know. We don't even know what Trump has done. What's his record with black people? What's his official record? We don't even know that either. We just know that, we've heard the rant.
Yeah.
And they're really bad rants. I mean, some of this stuff is really crazy that he says. I understand that totally, because I'm looking at them in data points, and I hear the stupid stuff. Joe Biden can't tell whether he was running for Senate or whether you should vote for Donald Trump.
He said you should vote for Donald Trump. Look, let me do this. I'm gonna add a caller to the line. Let's do this. 12:30 the source. Soapbox Heroes caller. What's on your mind?
On the phone with Tyrone.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, my brother. I'm in the wife's in the garage. She over there. I'm over here. And then that's what we're doing, brother.
Keeping the social distance. Keeping the social distance, man. As you should be doing. Thank you for keeping the social distance.
Most definitely, man. That was it's all about. Just doing the right thing.
The mayor, that's what Spike said. Do the right thing.
Do the right thing. That's all you have to do, bro. Just going about. We talk about why Mr.
Biden.
Biden and the other guy, the old man that jumped out, got out. I can't think of his name.
Sanders.
Yeah. It's hard to campaign right now. So the way I'm looking at it, he decided, well, let's get this out the way, and let me go back to the Senate and focus on what the country needs right now. And I just let that go. And let Joe Biden and Trump battle it out. And at least we know that Mr. Biden has been in office up there as vice president. If something would happen to Mr. Obama, he would have been the one next in line. But you got a man there now, man. He comes out blazing guns,
Okay, look here.
Don't like.
But let me
Go
say
ahead.
this. I'm going to note that as because when people give reasons, you're giving experience as a reason, and so I think that's a good reason. And so I just want to make sure that we note the good reasons, so it don't seem like I'm just saying every reason is a bad reason, because that's a reason,
Yeah.
experience. And so go ahead, go ahead.
And we're all humans. We all might have said things back in the day that were derogatory now. That's just the way it was. And then when we gotta look past all that, and we got so much on our mind now that the whole world is facing, not just the whole country, the whole world is facing. And we have a person up here, man, that started out thinking that this was a hoax and blaming everybody for this and that. And it's just like he perpetrated a fraud as a president. It went for the Republican Party. He would have gotten impeached and kicked out of office.
All right, now let me ask you this. All right, you started off with lying. Joe Biden has been lying lately too, as well. It hasn't been covered as much, but Joe Biden's been lying on campaign very often, and he often lies directly to black people. And so that's why I would say, okay, when it comes to lying, and this is just how I'm perceiving it. Both of them lie a lot. Joe Biden has a history of lying, and his history of lying is very similar to Trump's history of lying. He just haven't had the microphone in front of him every day, so it makes it hard for me to say, well, he won't lie as much. I don't think he's had the chance to lie as much. But remember, in '88, he had to drop out of the race for plagiarizing speeches over and over and over and over. You see,
Yeah.
and even if we come to, and when I say when we talk about the past, if we're going to say, well, Joe Biden's past is exempt because it was the past, then we would have to say Donald Trump's past is exempt. And then I would say, so well, what can we talk about in the present? You see, and we got Rayford on the line too. We just having a group discussion. What do you think, Rayford?
I say, how do you like your racism? Hard boil or easy old?
Covert or overt?
We just don't seem to understand those points. Right there, we do next thing go. We need to that's the past. The past is the man's present. It is him. Look at all the bad decisions this guy has made on votes and so forth that get pointed out. He's already against some form of universal single payer health care. Just one bad decision after another. We don't get anything out of the deal. We just don't get anything out of the deal. And so, for me, like I said before, the roof is on fire. I've stood enough for this crap that we get that's really got us targeted for zero wealth on average per capita in 2053. Probably been pulled back now to 2043 as a result of this deal.
Well,
I'm not accepting crumbs anymore.
What about this, Rayford? He was the vice president. He sat in office for 8 years. He spent a long time in Senate. What about stuff like that? Does that do anything to
Absolutely not. Everything I look at when a person has a history like that, and it's repeated history, I see no change in Joe Biden. I see no change in him. I do see a change. I see a mental deterioration, perhaps. I see a mental degrade. But what the black people? Sometimes I wonder what they want. They're already telling you we are at risk from health disparities and all these other disparities we got going on. Can't get fair access to contract. We ain't even demanding that. We just want that softer racism.
All right. Well, here, let's let the other caller get in. Caller, what else you got on your mind? What else you want to say?
It's so much going on with this man's president. You look back to this man's record when he stepped in office. Mr. Trump, people he messed over during his tenure of rising up. From he didn't work for nothing he had.
That's true.
He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth.
That's true.
He get in office. He badges
But at least someone agree with you. At least someone agree with that.
Yeah, that's very true. That's true.
But the thing with whenever we ever had a president that did something for our community, You know,
Well,
we had
maybe
Kennedy
then at
and,
some point we'll start to
and
hold them accountable for doing something for they have to level the playing field.
I think we have to demand it if we haven't had
Absolutely.
it. We have to demand it in some way.
We already
shape, or
gave this
form.
man our vote
demanded.
and ain't demanded
We just
nothing.
we just had an impeachment trial, and and the man walked up and said, even before the trial started, I'm with this man 100% care what happens.
Yeah.
Basically, you know what I'm saying? So how you lose how do you have justice like that?
Well,
That ain't
then too,
justice.
now you're right about that, and we also have to juxtapose it with another side who said, well, he's going to be guilty no matter what. So we got to look at the fact that we have partisan lines going back and forth both ways. And
without
they
accountability.
can't have power to get rid of this man. They
the
have all the
same
power
way-
that this man done walked in here with. I mean,
But it's the same way for somebody without any accountability.
hold on one second, Ray. Go ahead, Carter. Go ahead and finish.
I mean, he's bucked the whole system. I mean, he's made the Constitution look like just a piece of paper that says do what you want on it.
Yeah, and I agree with that. That is actually my my biggest sticking point with Trump is, and I don't think he tore the Constitution up, because what I think he's done is just expose the Constitution.
I agree.
Because
totally agree.
he hasn't done nothing that they could get it that they could find unconstitutional. That's the whole problem. If they could find it unconstitutional, even without the full power of the Senate, they would be able to go after him on things with merit, to where you can't, you'd have a resemblance of a vote that's not completely partisanly split. And that's what he's doing, is he's exposing the Constitution. But that is scary, because that's setting the ground for somebody else to say, well, look, this is all I got to do. If I want to do a ban on these people, these are the courts I go through. This is what I do. Go ahead,
everybody in office to do what he want to do. So he got a stacked deck. So how you gonna want that for anybody? Not just the African American community. Anybody. He's been doing the same game when he had the hotels. He wasn't paying nobody. He was doing everything under the sun. I don't want to even for the military. I got a bone spur. You know what I'm saying? Somebody took his seat in Vietnam and died. A bunch of men did.
Yeah, that's true. Did Joe Biden go to Vietnam?
No, he didn't. When he went for the government, he was in the Senate.
Yeah, he was in the Senate early at 35. And like I said, Joe Biden has had a long career of being in politics, and so I do give him that too, on the experience or knowing how to navigate. So that part of it.
Tyrone, before I go, which one of those white men up in Washington D.C. ain't got some stink on them or something on them? Every last one of them do.
You're not lying.
They ain't done nothing for nobody.
I'm just trying. I'm just trying to make sure that they one don't stink more than the same, or I don't even want them to stink the same. I want better, man. I want better.
What Donald Trump says, what the hell do you have to lose for voting with Donald Trump?
All right, man. I appreciate the call. Thank you.
Hey, my brother, my caller with me, man. God bless you, my brother, on the other side of the phone over there. And take care of yourself, Houston.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, we can have these conversations. Rayford, you want to stay on?
Yeah.
Oh. Call back in, Rayford. Let's see. 1230 The Source. This is Soapbox Heroes caller. What's on your mind?
TYRONE.
What's going on? What is going on? I'm on the fence, man. I'm on the fence. I need somebody to push me on over. Push me over.
Let me tell you something. You ever seen Robin Hood with Errol Flynn playing the role?
Yes.
And he got England, and he got the person that's in charge. That's so power hungry. He don't care nothing. People, he faking Jake. If you don't agree with him, he's sending henchmen out there to destroy you. We got him right here in living color.
Okay.
Right in the office up there.
In living color.
Get on the road. Joe Biden is Robin Hood. He's the best we got going right now. So
okay. Well, why? But tell me why. I understand. Okay, the best we got going. I mean, that sounds like, well, I guess, yeah, we don't have any other candidates. But why is he better?
No. Let me tell you this right now. I think, not only just based, I know the history. I researched everybody's background, even when he was young. Anyway, before he lost his wife in an accident and stuff, and it changed him too. But he started out in politics. He's always been known to be trying to be. He's going to vote sides of the fence. But I'm going to tell you what he did. He said, Joe Biden is the individual that has lived so long, and he's always trying to be basically right because he is a good guy. Now, Trump, if you just look at a good guy, different way everybody looks at it.
All right, I'm with you. I'm with
A good
you.
guy versus a cook. We already know he ain't no good and stuff, and how selfish he is. And Joe Biden is a giving person.
But,
I mean,
okay, well, wait. Okay, now let me ask you. Hold on. Now, how do we know he's good? What in his voting record is saying? What is he doing besides inflecting goodness? I could be inflecting goodness right now, and I could be a terrible guy in real life. I'm on the fence, man. You got to. I need something with some meat on it.
Can you handle what I'm gonna say?
Oh, I'm ready.
I don't know if
look, I'm sitting down. Should I stand up?
My explanation is, I understand, like Sam University, all of the experts criminally taught on how to profile criminals. I am a Texas masterpiece of. I have interviewed people in awesome situations. I'm 100% on getting a conviction and don't have to testify against the people because I'm a good judge. I can hear your voice, inflections, and even if you have a hint of sincerity that may win you a Grammy in Hollywood, but in the field of law enforcement, when you are an expert in the field that deals with the public, I am the man.
Okay.
I graduated with a limit. I'm just telling you, I could get, even if I was mentally challenged, it's obvious that we got a person who has been elected because people were so tired of the same old stuff. They wanted him to get, they know he wasn't no good, but what he did, when he enriched himself with all those deals he made up there with Congress and stuff, he enriched all his cronies too. And it ain't about being moral. It's all about being rich. And we got a pirate in the office. And I don't have to go no further. Put Joe Biden in there, and I can guarantee you, he would bring sensibility and empathy. When was the last time this person don't even know what no empathy is? He got a role that he plays. And that's all he is. And if all the groups can listen, let him get away with that, he'll never be in again. Because what he's doing wrong is affecting Ku Klux Klan. So Joe Biden, man.
So Joe Biden for empathy. That's what we go make. That's what the T-shirt goes say. All right, look. All right, now I'm trying to ask you. Feelings.
I feel him.
You feel it, and look, and see, and I hear what you're saying too about your. I hear what you're saying too about your background. So on that part, I won't argue with a dolphin on how to swim. You know what I'm saying?
And along with those other books and just stuff that I was in my DNA, and I mean, I could teach Sherlock Holmes. I'm just letting you know. And in fact, I've seen all this movie stuff when I was a kid. So that's what formed my attitude to be logical and stop getting away with that. Politics do not rule me. Democrat, that's a name. Republican, that's a name.
I agree completely.
I'm looking at the individual. I'm looking at the human being, and I'm looking at his public record of what type of human being he is.
Right, now, well, wait a minute. Well, and I brought another caller in. Rayford, you in? I had hit the wrong button earlier. Now, see, look, that's what I'm saying. The record of empathy, it's there in speeches, it's there in smile. I just don't see it there in policy. I don't see those empathetic, I love the people policies coming from Joe Biden, and that's what will persuade me at this point in time.
But now, I'm going to tell you
things
something
he's
that's
done.
emphatically true. I'm going to tell you what's going to persuade you. I tell you what, if somebody put a gun to your head and gave you a choice and said, I want to guarantee and I'm gonna wait 3 months to see if that's gonna be a difference in what's going on in America. Or we continuously running our allies away. The World War I.
I got a lot of background noise coming from you. Right. Go ahead. Go ahead, Carl.
What I'm saying is, it's obvious that Joe Biden's gonna be a better man because to choose anybody, you could even have the devil running against. Because, I mean, this dude right here, and I would vote for the devil because this man is teaching hell lessons.
Okay, I hear you. I pick up what you put down.
I'm one of those comics like Red Skeleton. Yeah, because I think he was a real funny comedian like John Smith. You have to see that. You have to see the truth through what he's saying, and I'm putting it out there because I'm saying the bullshit that Trump is putting out there. Only a cat, a dog, a rat, or even somebody that's seeing through the coronavirus that's out there. And the virus, we haven't recognized both abilities for them. I think them the only people that will vote for him. So Joe Biden's gonna win.
I don't know. Look, man, I saw today, I saw a whole bunch of people who were supporting Bernie Sanders saying we're not going to vote for him. And they were saying it because they feel that they're so close to the same. And that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get to the policy aspect of it. Look, when it comes to compassion, and I'm not going to just say the crime bill, even some of Joe Biden, even some of the things he want to pass as far as the healthcare and the privatization of the hospitals and stuff like that. And Joe Biden, is not real compassionate, man. He smiled a lot. He says a lot of platitudes.
Are you familiar with
but his record isn't like that. I just don't see it. I'm trying to see what's up on the record.
He know we in the time right now at this moment.
So he's gonna adjust to right now. That's fair because.
And let me tell you something right now. Before this happens, he gonna speak with the Supreme President of the United States.
Okay.
Obama about, he gonna sit down with them over lunch or whatever in his house, and they gonna chill out, drink them a Budweiser, chill out, and he gonna do what President Obama gonna tell him, because he gonna tell them the truth. I'm gonna tell you, Obama gonna tell them stuff that Obama didn't do, that he would have done when he had control of the Congress and the Senate. Retrospect and foresight and stuff. But Joe Biden, you don't listen to his thoughts.
Okay, well, look, I'm gonna say this. Being that he is a bureaucrat, maybe you are right about him bending to the will of the people at this time because the current time that we live in. I'm just worried about him staying on the corporation side that's been paying him the whole time, and that's why I say I equate it to his record. But here, let me see what Rayford have to say. Rayford, you've been listening in. What's your thoughts? Rayford, we got some background noise. It's echoing.
You listen to music, I think.
Yeah. Well, all right, here. Well, let me go ahead and let you get the last word on it. What you thinking?
Well,
no. Give me something. Like he did a bill. Give me a bill. Give me something. That point to him. Give me something that say, you know what? Go check it for it.
That's not only me and you are dealing with right now. The only reason people would still be alive today, if he would have listened to that. He ain't read that memo today. In January summer, when he met with Obama before he was inaugurated into public office, they done told him about the pandemic, and he chose to not do it because of selfish reasons, because it was he can't tell nobody. I thank to President Obama with his infinite wisdom, and that's why we have less of fatalities. Instead of doing that, he is destroying America with his ego. That's enough right there, bro, because that's well known. Common sense. Common sense.
All right. I can dig it. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for dropping the knot. Thanks for the common sense.
Let me tell you what Ralph Cooper said just then.
What Ralph said?
He said I didn't know you were listening to the show. Because, I do a little throw out finger a little bit on the show. And
Uh-huh.
I've been singing some Don him show for years on the show, doing the show. And he said, you ain't been singing nothing on my show. You've been singing for Tyrone. Tyrone, I'm going to sing for him tomorrow now.
Oh man, Ralph will be all right. Look, Ralph is man. Ralph. When Ralph walk in the building, Ralph is the legend. So I understand what you know.
Been knowing him since elementary school. We go way back, bro. When my brother was quarterback with Carl Douglas and Addison Word.
Oh well, Spivey. That don't mean stop singing for us. Well, you know what? I got something for you. I got something for you. Watch, you gonna be surprised.
What you gonna do?
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you.
Don't hurt me.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you.
All right, bro.
All right, Spivey. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
Hey, man, much love to you, brother. Keep on doing what you're doing. We need more people like you and the staff at KPOH, man. Y'all make the world go round.
Oh, much love to you, brother. Thank you, Spivey. I appreciate the call. Absolutely. Thank you for the call. Yeah, man. Spivey is a great singer. Spivey call in and get down. Ralph, it's all right, man. Look, Ralph. He is just helping me out. I need the help. Spivey just making me look good. Spivey just making me look good. But hey, you guys, so me as, a voter, I want to know, again, why? Policy. Give me some policy. Why should I vote for Joe Biden? And that doesn't mean that, you're going to vote for Donald Trump, because there are people who are that are frustrated right now. They feel like, what we're getting is two of something that's very similar. Maybe they have stylistic differences, but as far as policy, and far as the way that they view the world, and far as the way they call the plays, they're very similar. Especially if you look at their past, especially if you look at their interests and the things that they have voted for, and even their opinion on certain things. And so there's a lot of people who saying, well, you know what? The only way to get something different is to really rock the boat. And it seems like it's generational. I'm going to be honest. I've been looking around, and it seems like it's something that's generational. It seems generational. It seems like the baby boomers look at things one way, and then people younger look at it another way. And I can understand both sides, both angles. And I'll just say this. It seems like for the younger generation, it seems like the baby boomers are like, well, we have ours. We don't want to rock the boat. If we rock the boat, we not trying to mess up nothing we got. And the younger people are like, well, you guys have it. We don't. And I don't know if I'm correct about this, but the sentiment seems as the baby boomers are saying, well, we had to work for it. And since we have to work for it, you guys got to work for it. You guys want everything for free. That's what I'm hearing. And I hear the younger people saying, hey, it's different. Everything looks different. We can't get one job and feed our family and send our kids to college. The economy has changed. We have inflation. We have a wealth gap that is not being made up, that is actually increasing. We have stagnant wages. We have a different set of issues. And what younger people are looking at the fact that, it just doesn't seem as if things are changing. And we may get a change of aesthetics. We get new buildings. We drive new cars. People have good jobs. But when it comes down to the tangible things, again, the wealth gap, the availability to these jobs, we still have the same barriers, although the aesthetics of it has taken on a different look. The problems are still existing. And so what it seems like is younger people are saying, well, if the problems are still existing, if we're still having some of the same problems that we were having back in the day, then why, oh why, do you want to do the same thing? Why, oh why do you want to do the same thing? And that's what it seems like the sentiment of a lot of the young people are. They're saying, well, hey, when you juxtapose these guys next to each other, they're almost twins. They both lie a lot, and these are, this is just true. They both lie a lot. They both, have, used their office and their position to make money. They're both in the pocket of big businesses. They both have said disparaging things about black people. Um, One has actually had policies that was disparaging to black people, and so when they say, "But it don't," it's it it can't get any worse than what we have now. I'm saying, look, I'm not arguing with that sentiment. I just want to know for sure. I just want to know for sure. Look, if you're coming out of a bad relationship, don't just jump into another relationship because it's different. You got to make sure the one that you're jumping into isn't as bad. Or if they don't beat you in public, but they beat you in private. We got a caller on the line. Let me get to the caller. 1230 The Source. Caller, what's on your mind? Caller, you there?
Yeah.
You there? Hello, you there? You on the line? I got you. You breaking up a little bit. You there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. What's on your mind?
Okay. The last three presidents,
All right.
just the last three, all of them done lied about a certain amount of things and everything. Yeah, but at the same time, which ones did lie the least and did what the Senate and the House told them, or disagreed with them on, and they capitulated with that. It wasn't my way or the highway. And firing people because I don't like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. From the last three, here, let me hold on. Let me answer the question real quick. Let me answer your question real quick. I think that was a wonderful question, and because I want to make sure with that we're giving it the fair breath that it deserves. And so the last three presidents that essentially it seems like what you're saying, who were I just want to make sure that we cover all bases. Because like I said, I want to be convinced. I want to know why I should vote for him. Go ahead.
Now, saying I should vote, why I should vote for Trump, or you should vote for Trump, or we should vote for Trump. Vote for Biden.
Yeah.
We talking about Biden.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Biden is gonna listen to other people. I might say this and might want to do this, but I'm gonna listen to somebody else. Is the House or the Senate. I'm gonna listen to them. I ain't gonna tell them. Well, y'all can't tell me nothing.
Okay, look, that's a fair sentiment to hold. My only concern would be that here. Let me hear 1 second. Let me hear. Hold on. Let's have a dialogue. My only sentiment would be that I would hope that when he listens to people, that he listens to the right people, because he has a history of listening to the wrong people. Because just because somebody listen to people, don't mean they listening to the right people. And the crime bill, and we could go even on when he was listening to segregationists because they didn't want black kids going to the school with their kids. Joe Biden has been on the wrong side of listening.
How long was that ago?
Okay, Joe Biden now on healthcare is not listening. He is still doing and voting. In his opinion and his policy is still the opposite of what the overwhelming amount of the country wants. So even now, all right. So now go ahead.
But guess what? You can't bring that to the White House because we're gonna shoot that down.
Okay, I hear you.
We're gonna shoot that down.
I hear you.
Because we got enough people in there. And guess what? Mm-hmm. All the Republicans didn't vote for Trump.
That's true. There are a bunch of, and I wonder that dynamic.
So that's another thing.
That's true, and that is going to be another hidden factor. That's a great point. I wonder if the no Trumpers that were Republican, prior to him, the Freedom Caucus and some of those people. Well, No, they are Trumpers, but some of the no Trumpers, your Mitt Romneys and people like that, if they're actually
Yeah.
going to defect closer to the election, that's a good point. That's a good point. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And at the same time, even the one you just called off that ran for president,
Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney.
Uh-huh.
Mitt Romney has some. He had some pretty good ideas, but then he had some ones that was out. That's why he didn't make it.
Yeah.
That's why
I
he
think
didn't
I
make
think
it.
if Mitt Romney
But
was
guess
to
what?
try to
He
run
said,
against
hey,
President Trump this time, I think Mitt Romney would wipe the floor with him, to tell
hey,
you the truth. And
I
he might
could
have
have
been
went along.
positioning himself for it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I could have went along with him being president than what we got up there now.
Yeah. That makes sense. I'm picking up what you putting down. Absolutely. I'm just like I said. Go ahead.
And at the same time, Biden and Bernie Sanders. Okay, Bernie Sanders and Biden, they was gonna be whooping up on each other, except Biden got way ahead of him and got most of the what they call it, the
Super Tuesday. And see, and even with that, now when we talk about that, we got to remember now this is where the problem is going to lie with Super Tuesday, is the defectors, because there's a lot of people who feel like the independent sitting on the fence look at it like the DNC swooped in and they did their thing for Joe Biden. They were making phone calls behind the scenes. You've seen candidates all drop out right before Super Tuesday, even one who had delegates. It all seemed kind of strange. And so you have people who feel they feel angst because of that. And they look at it like, well, you know what? Here comes the giant stomping down the truth again. What are you guys going to do about those people?
But what I'm saying is this. Okay, although he got most of the what they call, what I was saying about the electoral vote.
Yeah. He's winning
electoral
more delegates.
College.
Yes, he's more delegates.
He got the most votes.
Right.
And what's called got more votes than he did. Than what's called did. But she didn't win.
Right.
But she didn't get as many, but she won. She would have won if it was just going through the election.
Okay. Yeah.
Miss Clinton.
Hillary would have won if you went on the popular vote.
Yeah. Well, she got the popular vote.
Right.
But now what I'm saying is this: if Bernie Sanders, he saw the writing on the wall. Now I think he's sick too.
Yeah.
I think he got a problem. Because if not, but then at the same time, they was going to have to sit down and say which one of us is going to be, which one of us can be.
Okay. I think
which one of us could be Trump.
I think
but since I lost out, I'm going to go ahead and give it to you because I think you got the best chance.
Yeah, I think he thinks he has the best chance as far as delegates, absolutely. But I also think Bernie Sanders folded his tent because, well, hold on 1 second. I think Bernie Sanders folded his tent because he has a pattern of eventually, giving in to whatever the DNC wants. Even the last election, he did the same thing. And he clearly got cheated at the convention, but he still bowed out and, told people to vote for Hillary. And he does the same thing even this time. He wouldn't even give a square attack on Joe Biden. He would always, soft love him.
But when he bowed out, it was somebody else in there to go along with. But now, since he bowed out, they say I'm a Sanders. I'm for Sanders all the way. Since he bowed out, I ain't gonna vote. But guess who you're voting for? It's since you ain't voting.
I don't know, man. I think that's subjectable, and I say that to
you
both people because
so
Trump supporters say that too.
That's one that Biden can't get.
I know, but it's one that Trump can't get it either. Or what if you vote for a write-in or somebody?
Trump get it.
No, the person you vote for is who gets your vote. The person you don't vote for don't.
Yeah, we understand that. What I'm saying is, if it's a close what you call it? If it's close and everything, and I'm just not gonna vote because Sanders didn't get in there. If y'all voted for Biden, although we ain't, we like a few things that Biden do and everything, but we ain't just ain't gonna vote for all the kind of, my man didn't get in there.
Well, look, I'm gonna say this.
You cutting off you're cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Well, look, I'm gonna say this, and look, because I've been reading a lot and I've been listening a lot, I've been talking to a lot of these people, and I'm gonna tell you this. When you say that them not voting for, because they might do a write-in candidate or third party or something, so for them not to vote, hold on one second. No, don't want. And so when people say, well, you're going to get Donald Trump instead, what I'm telling you is they're perfectly fine with that. So I'm saying for that to be the defense isn't going to win anybody over. And if you really want Joe Biden to win, he's going to need some of those votes. He's going to, or we're going to have to look up and see Donald Trump again, because nobody want to get it together on a real cohesive strategy to win. They just want to beat up on each other. But hey, I gotta take a quick break, and I'm gonna come back and take some more callers, man. I appreciate it.
Well, let me say this right here.
Go ahead.
If you don't want John Trump in there, you better vote for somebody else. And ain't but one you can vote for.
All right, what I'm trying to tell you is they don't mind. They'll say, okay.
Well, you get the same thing, get the same old thing.
And that's what they try to say they are getting either way. That's the way.
4 years.
Right. Well, like I said, that's everybody has the way they want to lean. But I appreciate the call, man. I gotta run real quick. I thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
Love you, man.
And look, and you had some good points. Let me make that clear. You did have some good points, and some very good points.
You asked the right question for us to answer in our way.
Yes, exactly.
You ain't got to agree with me, and I ain't got to agree with you. But the idea was you asked the question, and you wanted our answer, and we gave it.
Yes, absolutely.
And we love you for that.
And I love you guys.
It wasn't like you were trying to hem somebody up.
No. I think, we need to exchange dialogue just so we have understanding, because I'm understanding and it makes some sense. And so, and we all have to be big enough to, when we hear things that make sense, say, that does make sense.
You weren't trying to make us look like no fools if we didn't answer the way you might have thought we should have answered it or whatever. It didn't make no difference. You asked the question and you got our answer.
Yeah,
and all the guys that came on, they had their answers, and I went along with a lot of what they went along with, what they were saying. Hey, it's love, but then sometimes you just got to go along with the lesser of the two evils.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the call.
All right, love y'all.
All right, man. Love y'all. Appreciate the call, man. Great call. It's great call. And that is it. I do think it's important that we learn from each other and build from each other. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to get to the caller. We got another few callers on the line, and I definitely want to hear what they have to say. We are going to take a very, very quick break and come right back right after this.
KCOH Houston, Legacy, Civics, and Soul. 1230, The Source.
So, you've been looking for a professional tax preparer who is experienced, reliable, and available year-round. Well, we recommend Gary White, certified public accountant. He's located at 2440 Oakdale Street, Houston, Texas, right here in Houston's 3rd Ward. For over 30 years, accountant Gary White has prepared taxes with security and integrity for individuals, partnerships, corporations, nonprofits, estates, and trusts, and he offers audit representation before the IRS for all tax returns that he prepares. He's open from 8:30 to 6:30 p.m. Call an appointment at 713-787-9950. 713-787-9950. Want it done right? Call Gary White, 713-787-9950.
Have you dropped your denture or partial and cracked it? Has a tooth fallen off? No need to wait 2 or 3 days for a repair. At Sunnyside Dental, we have an in-house dental lab. In most cases, we can fix that denture or partial while you wait. That's right, same-day denture repair while you wait. Call Sunnyside Dental, 713-738-1999. 713-738-1999. Let's get that denture fixed because you know what? You cannot go to church like that.
Houston, your voice is back. KCOH 1230 AM radio. Amber Shaw, Paris Hilly, Michael Harris, Don Sam, Ralph Cooper, Tyrone Irvin, and the crew. Music, talk, and so much more. 1230 The at 1230kcoh.com.
Keep it hot every day.
Cold, cold eyes upon me, they stare. People all around me, and they're all in fear. They don't seem to want me, but they won't admit I must be some kind of creature if they're having fears. From my party house, I'm afraid to come outside. Oh, I'm filled with love, I'm afraid they'll hurt my pride. I feel they won't leave, and I pull the shade so I won't see them seeing me. Having a hard time in this crazy town. Having a hard time, have no love to be found. Having a hard time in this crazy town. Having a hard time, have no love to be found. From my party house, I feel like me another familiar face of creed and the race of brother. But to my surprise, I find a man corrupt. Although he be my brother, he wants to hold me up. Having a hard time in this crazy town. Having a hard time. There's no love to be found. Having a hard time in this crazy town. Having a hard time. There's no love to be found. Sleeping on your floor, knocking on my brother's door. And Oreo, drinking Blackbird, baby. This crazy town, having a hard time. There's no love to be found. Having a hard time in this crazy town. Having a hard time. There's no love to be found.
About to come back on right now.
I'm sick and tired of having so many hard times, baby. And from my body,
Welcome back. 12:30 The Source. This is Soapbox Heroes. We are 15 minutes into the second hour, and we have another one of our wonderful, wonderful callers on the line. Let me get the caller on the line. Let me get you through so we can hear what's on your mind. Caller, you are on the line. How you feel?
How you
What's
doing,
on
my
your
brother?
mind? Wonderful, wonderful. How you doing?
Oh, man. Bless you, brother. This is Brother Jesse.
Great. How are you, Brother Jesse? What's on your mind?
Okay, I was just thinking about this virus and about us.
Okay.
When I say us, I mean us, African Americans, and of course black folks. I've noticed in Houston, I take an example here in Houston, all the test centers that were set up there wasn't set up in the black community.
Okay.
Mistake number one, they set up a location at Butler Stadium. Now, unless you follow high school football.
Right.
Okay, now if they really wanted us to get tested, they'd put it in the community. Say, for instance, 3rd Ward Multi-Center on Ennis, Sunnyside Multi-Center on Cullen and Wilmington, 5th Ward Multi-Center, Lockwood, Veneer Lounge. They put it where black people live. But we haven't got tested, so 70% of the people that are dying are black people.
Right.
From this virus. And I think, of course, Donald Trump addressed it yesterday, said that's a shame, Steve, that's terrible. How could that be? Which really saying that's great because, the majority of black people vote Democrat. So if you ain't got no black folks alive to vote, you don't worry about it.
Well, where's the other side of the aisle to change this? Where are they at marching in the streets or going on the floor holding 24-hour sessions on how to fix this? Why isn't this getting fixed by either side?
Okay, I just heard today Sylvester Turner, the mayor.
Okay.
He finally said something that kind of addressed it a little bit. He said, well, because he realized we had 12 people to die here in Houston from the virus just recently.
Mm-hmm.
And 7 out of that 12 was black people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that got his attention. And he said, we're going to do something about that. Now, he didn't say what. He said, we're going to do something about it. What needs to be done? Need to put those test centers in the black community and get them tested. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think they have to take away the stigma of going to get tested is going to cost you something that you can't afford, or if you don't have insurance, they have to give some clear direction on how to be tested.
It's free, and so that's one of the things. Another thing, since we're not getting taken care of, I call to give you guys some knowledge. There's a 99-year-old lady who had the virus, and she made it through the virus thanks to the Lord. Plus, she ate up those vitamin C tablets, which taste like oranges.
Mm-hmm.
She ate those up. She said, I survived off the vitamin C tablets, and I ate my sandwiches with vegetables on it, like lettuce and tomatoes. She's 99, so I know her immune system is kind of weak, and she survived the virus.
Wow, that's a blessing.
It is a blessing. I know the Lord was with her too, of course. But she said vitamin C tablets. So I'm out here to tell all the people that are listening, go get you some vitamin C tablets. Let's be proactive instead of reactive. And let's go get some vitamin C tablets and let's eat our vegetables. Let's have our system already set up so if the little virus comes to us, it ain't gonna affect us. We're well equipped.
You know what? You're saying something that I honestly think that the media has done a terrible job of doing, including myself. We haven't been stressing the importance of health in all of this, and I want to thank you for calling in and putting that on the table, because what you're doing is actually a public service, because that is very important, is health. And I was thinking that driving in today, I said we keep talking about medicine or prevention or vaccines, but we're not talking about the health aspect. And my mother is very big on the health aspect, and she always talks to me about the health aspect. So I thank you for putting that on the table.
Yeah, man.
That's
the
important.
Lord put that on my heart to put that out there.
Yeah, that's important. And I thank you for listening because it's important. We're talking about vaccines and everything else. We're talking about prevention, but what is being skipped is, lettuce, tomatoes, vegetables.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Stuff that we grew up with.
Right. Absolutely. All right, man. Well, hey, give me a policy reason, because I know you're gonna have one. Give me a reason why I should vote for Joe Biden.
Number one reason, so that you want to vote for Trump.
All right, now give me a reason aside from Trump. I know that Trump is. I know who Trump is. Now give me a reason why I should vote for Joe Biden without Trump.
He's going to. My brother Lewis had talked to him the other day. Talked to Joe Biden, and he told Joe Biden that, of course, you need to have a black running mate, female, and we know that's Pamela Harris, and that's John Lewis. You know, the legend John Lewis, civil rights John Lewis. He got cancer right now, but God bless him.
Yes.
But and so he's looking at what John Lewis is saying is that he's going to give Pamela Harris, which I think is a good mate to run with, because he's so intelligent. You know, she's almost intelligent as Michelle Obama. Almost.
I think stylistically, and I think she's a wonderful candidate to pick stylistically. I think she's a good debater. I think she's a great litigator. I think she's smart on her feet. I think she's good. I think she has a grasp on policy, and I think she also knows, and I think she knows how to go with the politics of the time. A caller earlier alluded to that as far as Joe Biden, but I think Kamala Harris is much more savvy to that. My only fear would be that they're going to send us all to jail, because between Joe Biden and the crime bill and Kamala Harris and what she did in California, they like sending us to jail. That's my
but you missed one point. What she did, she sent white collar criminals to jail, like the Donald Trump.
No. She let Steve Mnuchin go. She was sending low-level criminals to jail. And then when it came to the police, they didn't want to turn over evidence showing, that who they were taking to jail, where things were disproportionately, being done on race. And she helped them hide the evidence. I don't know, but that was her pitfall.
I look at it like this. When she told me she'd like to take Donald Trump to jail, that was my vote right there.
I hear you.
Because she said that's a felon walking around with a suit on and a red tie.
Well, you know what? I think he's going to get dealt with after he gets out of
that's
office.
Why he's trying to hold on to it so hard.
I think he's going to get dealt with after he gets out of office,
because there's so much against him.
But see,
so many things against him, and you gotta keep in mind that district of what's that, Southern District of New York? They went through with him.
They hot on his trail. They hot on.
He tried desperately to try to get federal judges to get them out.
They hot on his trail. Well, okay, now see, but this would be my concern. Now, since they're hot on his trail, as they should be. Now, Kamala Harris let Steve Mnuchin go. Who is what? That's Trump's right-hand man right now. He's the one. Steve Mnuchin was putting elderly people out their homes with one mortgage left. And he was doing all kind of stuff in California. And Kamala Harris let him go. And so...
One thing I know, these politicians, you're going to have a good hand on all of them. Now, the key to this thing, since I've been looking at this since I was 10 years old, the key to this thing is the one that do less harm to your people, the one that do less harm, because all of them are geared up. Even the Democrats are geared up. Keep in mind, they come out the Dixiecrats, which is the Klansmen. So they both sides are geared up to attack the black folks. But we always the ones that, if they sneeze, we got pneumonia. If they cough, we got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now I'm gonna ask you this though: what is the evidence that Joe Biden will hurt black people or has hurt black people, specifically black people, less than Donald Trump? I guess that's what I'm looking for, and I'm looking for it in policy. Where is it
Okay.
at to where I can say there it is right there?
One policy, he said that he gonna keep Roe versus Wade. The woman has the right to choose.
Okay.
And that means he's gonna continue to form what's that? Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is more than just
it's more than just
killing
abortion.
babies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they need that. The women need that, and plus we need it ourselves because you go there and you get your condoms.
Protection. Low price healthcare or free a lot of times for people who don't know or can't go get services other places. Okay, so that's an issue. He's going to keep Planned Parenthood. Okay, you know what?
Keep Roe versus Wade. Yeah.
Roe versus Wade. You know what? I want to thank you for giving me a policy.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm serious.
I try to help you out, brother.
You know what? What would I do without you? What would I do?
Hey, brother, I love talking to you, so that's why I call you your show. Because I used to just call Michael Harris' show, and I used to give him some enlightenment. When Bush was president, he said, "Oh, that brother Bam," and so I'm gonna light him up.
Oh well, we always need some enlightenment sometimes, and so.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just like I said, I'm just sitting here trying to figure out the reasons and just looking at it from everybody's perspective.
Okay.
Because I think that, and I'll be honest, if people sincerely want Donald Trump to win, they have to communicate with the people who think that Donald Trump and Joe Biden is the same. And so the conversation that we're having, it has to be able to be had in a cohesive way to make those people want to do that, because he needs those numbers.
I know this one thing. The black sisters are ahead of us on this thing here. The sisters are ahead of the sisters are the one that's running this Democrat Party.
Yeah.
These sisters are ahead of the brothers on this. So the sisters kind of
black women. The sisters, as far as being involved in politics, period. That's why all the politicians look to the black women for the vote.
Yeah.
They're not worried about us.
Oh no, they ain't worried about us. The sisters, they are on top of that.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm on the radio. Okay, yeah, so the sisters, they all on top of that. And I'm so proud of them because I remember back in the day, because I come from an organization where they train us to become community organizers, like Barack Obama were. I was trained in that field with Deloitte Parker, who was in the same organization.
Oh, wow.
And so me and Deloitte, we very tight. And that was back in the 60s. I was 16 when I got into the organization. And it really opened my eyes up to the black side of the thing. Because, see, at first I got that Kennedy thing when I was 10. So I saw the dirty side of politics with that. And then when I got into the organization, I saw how they tried so hard to get rid of the black race. And they've been doing this since the Civil War. They had an act called the King-African Act and the McCarrick Act, which was top secret supposed to be known.
Wow.
But of course, we got a hold to that document because in those days, in the 60s, all black organizations in America communicated with each other, and they sent down information from D.C., all over, from Chicago, from whatever information containing the black community. And what they're going to do is get rid of us. In other words, what God saved us, of course, but what really slowed that down was Martin Luther King integration.
Okay.
Martin Luther King integration saved us from blacks was in black communities, whites was in whites, and the little farmers out there on the little land where the Klan could get them any time. But they had it set up to where they were going to barricade off the black community with tanks. They weren't going to shoot the tanks. Blow up the buildings and nothing like that. They weren't going to do that. They're going to just shoot out cyanide and make it look like you sleep. All the buildings and everything else going to be put still in place. And the military people off to a mission, which they wasn't coming back. They had it set up from the McCarrick Act and King Africa Act. And we got a hold to. So we started copies of this stuff and putting it in everybody's doors in the community. And so it got busted. So since that got busted, they went to Plan B. Plan B in 1969, they got these scientists together to put together a germ that this thing that in 1949 that cured that syphilis. What was that? Penicillin. That penicillin could crush. So they put together HIV. And so they target us with HIV by saying they put in the black community that we have a test. We'll pay you $500 to come down here for this test, and $500 in the late 60s. That's more than you making a month or two. And so, because I think it was $1.25 minimum wage after they ran it from 75 cents. So that was a lot of money. A lot of blacks went up there and they got that shot of HIV.
Wow, really?
Oh yeah.
This is fascinating. And so, well, let me ask you this in terms of what's going on currently. Do you think that that's possible again? Because we hear a lot of people talking about the actual vaccine for the coronavirus. Do you think that's possible again?
It's very, very possible because they never go to sleep. We don't want to go to sleep. They don't sleep. They constantly trying to figure out a way to get rid of these black people. You know, they got them over here and they can't get rid of them. And they're trying, desperately trying to get this. You know, this hip hop generation kind of helped them out a lot about gang banging and cutting up each other. That kind of helped out a little bit, but it's not cutting up enough of them. You know, they're cutting up a lot of them, but it's not cutting up these old people like me, people with knowledge. It ain't killing the ones that know what's happening. It's just killing up these them, you know, the 20-year-olds, the 18 and 14. You know, they don't have no knowledge. So, you know, the hip hop kind of helped them out a little bit, but
what does it say? Without knowledge, you shall perish. Or
oh yeah, we perish from lack of knowledge.
Perish from a lack of knowledge.
That's right. That's why I try to throw some knowledge to you, brother.
Well, you know what? I'm catching it. I thank you for throwing it to me. Matter of fact, look, for you giving out that history, because you know that's something that I appreciate around here. I'm gonna give you one of these.
Okay.
Hold on,
all right.
Gotta give you a round of applause.
Yeah, I so appreciate that, brother. You made my day.
Absolutely, you made my day with that. You made my day. I thank you and I appreciate the call.
Okay, brother. Anytime. I love your show. God bless you and all my KCOA listeners. Y'all continue doing what y'all doing. Stay away from each other. Stay home. And if you can, if you don't have to go to the supermarket, don't go. And if you do go, just one of y'all go. Don't take the whole family. One of y'all go to the supermarket. You don't need all y'all catching it. And keep your hands washed. And, you know, keep doing what you're doing because they're showing that the numbers are going down since we've been staying out distant.
Yes, the numbers are going down. We're going to talk about the numbers actually after the break. And I want to, if you ever have an inclination, please feel free to do so.
I appreciate the welcome, brother.
We put things to the side to hear history. We need it.
Okay, brother.
If you guys don't give it to us, we won't have it.
That's right. I'm here for you, brother.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. I appreciate the call.
Okay. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Oh, man. You know, I think we have the greatest callers in the world. We have the greatest callers in the world. I know we're not supposed to toot our own horns, but I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm tooting the horn of our callers. And I want to thank him for actually giving me a piece of policy. You know, he didn't really, he didn't beat me up too much. He sat me down, told me some things, but he gave me a piece of policy. And that's all I'm asking for. What are some of the policies? What are some of the policies that we are looking for or that you are looking for that would make you say, all right, you know what? Give him my vote. He deserves my nod, because to me, your vote is your power. Your vote is your power. And so I'm not telling people, who to vote for. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm not telling you why to vote. But I do think we should know what it is that we are getting into. And I think we should require certain things. You know what? Because I don't want them thinking it is okay for them to get me off of my mountain. I'll be right back. This is Soapbox Heroes. We're going to talk about COVID-19, the coronavirus. Who's counting them deaths and how they count them? We'll be back right after this.
Hey, you! Get off my mountain. Hey, you! Get off my cloud. Hey, you!
Yeah, Tone, I can listen to them. I can listen all day. That's that kind of information you need. And somebody the things that he's experienced, that's amazing. That's amazing. How'd your train trip go the other day? Did you take a train? Did you get on the train? Hey you. Junior Irving. Oh, you been listening to Ralph, huh? He always got to be. He called me Junior Irving every time. Junior Irvin has a ring to it. Oh man, what's the ring? Hey you. Man, they gonna block this video. I forgot to turn the sound off. I might as well turn it up. Anytime you let the music play, they block your video. And it's crazy. We should be able to play music being we're at a radio station. Guess not. We're about to come back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Oh man, I love our callers, man. We have these wonderful conversations, and you know, and I get so much knowledge. Like I was talking to Tone on the break, and Tone said I could sit and listen to my elders all day. So can I. So can I. As can I. Oh man, I got so much out of that last call. Got so much out of that last call, and again, he gave me policy. Now that's one. That's one. That's one. But I want to talk about this COVID-19. I want to talk about the deaths. How are the deaths being counted? The other day on the show, it dawned on me. I said, well, how else are people dying? Are the numbers going down in other type of deaths? Like if we talk about cancer, are cancer deaths down? Or you know what? Let's take it out of that realm. Let's go over to the flu. Have we had a spike in the number of flu cases lately, or have we had a decrease, or are they right on par? And where would they be if you translate them over to the numbers of people who are infected of COVID-19, the death rate? And I was also wondering, how exactly are these numbers being counted? How are the numbers being counted? And the first thing came to my mind, I said, well, are they counting people who contract, are they counting all deaths of people who have coronavirus as coronavirus deaths? Well, let me explain what my way of thinking. And again, I'm just trying to figure it out. The phone number is 713-668-1230. 713-668-1230. In other words, what I'm trying to say is this. If you had an acute case of, say, pneumonia, and then you had coronavirus, you had COVID-19 in your system, but you died from the pneumonia, as if you had the pneumonia without the COVID, you would have died anyway. So my question is, are they counting every death of a person that has COVID-19? Is that considered a death by COVID-19? I got a caller on the line. Let me get to the caller. 1230 The Source. What's on your mind, caller?
How you doing, man? What's going on, brother?
Wonderful, wonderful. How you doing, man? How you feeling this evening?
Feeling pretty good. I was checking y'all what you're talking about there, and I agree with you. Something very suspicious about these numbers, because in Africa, you don't have a large outbreak of people of our DNA, but in the United States, our areas are supposed to be the hardest hit, African Americans.
Yeah.
I'm having difficulty with that.
You know what? I'm trying real hard to understand too, as far as the disparities, even when it comes to African Americans. I hear a lot of people say, well, us black folks, we just not listening. But when I look around, I see other people not listening as well. But I also do see many black people, most black people I see, abiding by the distancing rules and the stay-at-home order. And so I don't really, and this is just anecdotal, but I don't really see the difference in race of black people just not listening more than anyone else. And so we had a caller earlier, he alluded to the testing areas being in the wrong places. And so that would go to testing, but as far as the numbers, Greenland, I don't know. And what I've been, you know what, for us right here, let me see. I think I got some sound. And it's very interesting. It's very interesting. You know how we like to include sound with our speech. And I'm trying to, I'm trying to get to it. But, here, let me see. Let me do like this. Let me crank up the bass, as they like to say. Here we go.
You had a
Oh, yeah. I got all kind of music going on. Here we go.
pre-existing condition. Other countries that if you had a pre-existing condition, and let's say the virus caused you to go to the ICU and then have a heart or kidney problem, some countries are recording that as a heart issue or a kidney issue and not a COVID-19 death. Right now, we're still recording it, and the great thing about having forms that come in and a form that has the ability to mark it as COVID-19 infection, the intent is right now that if someone dies with COVID-19, we are counting that.
All right, you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I actually saw a video of a doctor. He was on a show, another gentleman live over the air, and he was saying that he was contacted, he was coached on how to do death certificates.
I saw that video as well.
And it makes you wonder, wait a minute, he said he's never been coached in his whole career on how to do that. And this is a new phenomenon on TV.
Well, yeah, and that was Dr. What's her name? Deborah Birx. She's the doctor. She's always up there with Donald Trump. And when people had given her, a certain era of credibility, and so I guess she's credible. And but that stood out to me. She said we're counting all deaths as COVID deaths. So basically, it's a difference between dying with coronavirus or dying because of coronavirus. What they're saying is if you die with coronavirus, we're counting it as a death of coronavirus. And that's very interesting to me. What do you think, Rita?
Well, yeah, I agree, because I'm hearing things about multiple testing, and say if you test negative today, they want to retest you till they can say, oh, now you got it. I'm looking at this from a whole different scope right now, because I'm not feeling this whole jargon of stuff going on. I'm not buying into it just right now. I'm serious.
Well, you know what? It does bring up enough speculation to at least ask questions. It does bring up enough, to at least ask, how are we counting? Because I do think if they're overcounting in mass, that does cause more hysteria than maybe needed. And so, that's why I wanted to look into it. I'm going to add a caller with us, Greeland. Let's do this. 1230 The Source. This is Soapbox Heroes. What's on your mind, caller?
Hey, good evening, Greeland. Good evening, Tyrone.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you, good brother?
I'm good. I had a nephew that passed in Mainland Hospital in Texas City over the weekend. Now,
Okay.
he's
COPD. But they are postmortem testing him to see had he contracted that to exacerbate his COPD. And so, but my niece and other family members are speculating that that may be the case, but they're going to do an autopsy if that is very well the case. But they said it could have been a contributing factor had he contracted, but they're not. They didn't do the test till the postmortem, so we're waiting on the results of those to come back right now.
That's very interesting, and I wonder if it was a contributing factor, if they're going to label that as the reason of death, actually, and that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I would think in other cases, if something is a contributing factor, they don't label the contributing factor as the cause of death. They'll label, just the cause of death. Am I correct or wrong?
So I don't know if you saw my cousin. My cousin also contracted it. He was living in New York. He made the news media today. His mom sent me the clip of Channel 13, Stephen Hudson. And he was in ICU for at least 2 to 3 weeks. And if you look on social media, and I may send the clip to you back, but he suffered from it, but he gave him that medication that your president has just given it to him. He has since then developed kidney failure.
Wow! With the malaria drug.
Yes.
Interesting. So he took the malaria vaccine, and it gave him kidney failure. And so now he went from having the coronavirus to kidney failure, trying to fix the coronavirus with the malaria drug.
Yes.
Oh, wow. This thing, this is confusing. Go ahead. You got something, Greeley?
Yeah, I want to say that's true, that could happen. And I'm not going to necessarily blame Trump for that, because you got six different doctors saying they've had positive results with it. Some doctors say no. So there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Well, you know what? Here, let me do this real quick. The reason I would say Donald Trump, Greeland, is responsible is because, you know what? The buck do stop there. And that's why, I say sometimes I think he's a bad leader, because he doesn't know when to not say anything. If he felt that was true, he should have assigned that to somebody with more qualifications to say it, just to be prepared for the blowback. But him getting out there saying it, and when people start doing it, they're going to say it's because you said it. And so I got to say, you know what? He was the one that put it out there on a mass scale, even though we had doctors, maybe agreeing with them on a smaller scale. None of them have that platform. So I got to go ahead and say, you know what? He deserved the dunce hat for that.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is a doctor's discretion is what's always advised. So if you got a doctor that's taking reckless discretionary measures, I'll put it on them too, because it's always doctor's discretion based upon his education and experience.
Oh, definitely. The doctor who prescribed it should have, some of the responsibility to blame. Go ahead, caller. What else is on your mind? What do you think is going with the numbers? Do you think that they should add numbers of people who die with coronavirus as the numbers of people who die of coronavirus? Do you think that's something that should be done?
Well, because I don't know how they should calculate it, but if I die of smoke inhalation, but I died because I was I inhaled smoke during a fire, how do you frame that?
Smoke inhalation. or if you have diabetes from eating bad, they're not going to say, well, diabetes is because you ate bad. They're just going to say you have diabetes.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. It's confusing. It's a little confusing. Maybe they don't have a better way of tabulating the numbers, or they can't be precise enough. I don't know. But I do think that by overestimating the numbers, I do think it caused a little more panic than maybe what's necessary. I think they should break it down. This person had it.
I think in the projection of the numbers and how many people would be affected by now, I think that's not a good thing. But I do understand that they want to have people to err on the error of precaution.
Yes, that's understandable too.
Yeah, because I'm in the industry. Two of my customer bases are shut down right now because they had infected employees. So,
Okay. Yeah, and you know what? And that is something that I wanted to mention earlier, and I'm glad that you said it about erring on the side of caution. When it comes to life and people dying, I don't care what the situation is. I would rather overdo it than underdo it because we're talking about life.
that's true. That's true. But
Go ahead, Greeland.
One of the interesting things right here is that no one wants to address the ethnicity labeling of the count right now, and that's what I'm having difficulty with, the ethnicity labeling of the count.
Okay, you're having difficulties of understanding why they're labeling the count?
Yes, I'm trying to figure, well, no, not why. I'm trying to figure out how accurate is that.
Yes.
So,
yes, okay, go ahead.
And the reason why I said that, because now they're saying, well, in California, for example, they said that they have like a gigantic setup in the African American community because their numbers are so big, is what they're saying. I'm looking at a narrative here, and it's kind of a little bit disturbing.
It is very disturbing, and I'm trying to figure out how they came to those numbers. I'm going to do a little bit more research on it tonight, because yesterday when I first started hearing it, I was hearing people, say, well, Black people, we're not listening. We're not listening to the order. But the majority of people I know are listening to the order. The majority of the callers are calling in, and in fact, not only listening to the order, they're asking that other people listen to the order. And I understand there's always going to be pockets of people who don't go with the trend or don't go with, the narrative. But that's not only going on with Black people. Like I said, I rode through the suburbs the other day on the way to the station. I seen old white ladies out there walking their dog in groups, stretching, about to go walking in the park or along the trail, riding their bikes, playing hoop. And so, but Greta, I don't know. And what's strange about it is this. You remember at first they were talking about, well, most people that are being affected, because remember, there were some celebrities who were affected that got the most airplay first, right? And they were talking about these people are affected because they are most in contact with people who travel out of the country.
Right. Exactly. That was the original statement, right?
Right. And now I'm not trying to stereotype, but I'm from the hood. Most brothers in the hood are not communicating with people all the time that's fresh off the plane from Beijing.
I can agree with you 1,000% on that statement. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and so I'm wondering, how did this all of a sudden permeate the African American neighborhoods? And just like you said, how are we getting those numbers? And then my other question is that happening in France? Is that happening in other places that have the coronavirus who also have African Americans or Black people, melanated people, whatever you want to call it, on those land masses? They're Black people in Japan, in China. Are they adversely affected? What's on your mind, Greeland?
I got one of my good friends I'm in constant communication with every night over Lagos, Nigeria. I got another friend in Ghana. I'm in constant contact with them, getting numbers, and they're not showing this big gigantic blow up like we are in America with African Americans or people with our DNA, so to say.
Okay.
So I'm getting my information from over there. My wife is from Kenya, and I'm getting information from 3 parts of Africa, and I'm not seeing it. It's just not measuring up the same as in America.
Yeah, you know what? And I haven't seen it, and I hadn't heard any reports. In fact, I was hearing how in some regions in Africa that scientists were baffled about the low numbers of people that had coronavirus or COVID-19. And then they were leaning it on the lack of testing. Here, I got a comment I want to read right here. Let's see. LaShonda Hardy says, it's the people that lie outside of the country. She said, when they leave out the country and come back, they bring it with them. Yeah, and that was a lot of the conversation at first. It was about a lot of people who were leaving the country and coming back. Remember, Greeland, they even had whole cruise ships of people coming back from other places with, And so
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and so
Yes, sir.
that makes sense. And so and that's what I'm saying again, some people are saying that, well, black people are working the essential jobs right now. And I hear that, but I think that's very regional. I don't think that's something that you can say over the country as a whole. That's very regional because there's some places where there are no black people hardly. And so that can't be something that covers, the whole country. And I can't get the grasp on it. But look, I wanted to read a little bit of this. I got this from the New York Post. And it says the federal government is classifying the deaths of patients infected with coronavirus, COVID-19 deaths, regardless of any underlying health issues that could have contributed to the loss of someone's life. Dr. Deborah Birx, the response coordinator for the White House Coronavirus Task Force, said the federal government is continuing to count the suspected COVID deaths despite of other nations doing the opposite. And that's something I was talking about was there's places like Germany and their numbers are so precise, but if you go have a heart attack and you have a heart attack for you are you were in bad health and you were going to have a heart attack anyway. Now, if you have the coronavirus, they're not going to say you died of the coronavirus. They're going to say you died of a heart attack, but you had the coronavirus. Here in the United States, they're going to say you died of the coronavirus. Go ahead.
Right. I'm not a conspiracy theorist often, but hey, if you want to gentrify areas, that's a good way to do it. Say, well, we got to take government control of those areas because we have this big, overbearing, out of control COVID situation that we got to sit on this territory for X amount of months or years and monitor it. I mean, you got to understand. I mean, hey, you're targeting the poorest people. And I'll be honest, African American genes are very, very, very strong, I would say, as far as combating various different things because we've been through so much. It's kind of like a gene mutates. And if you lived in a certain makeup of the woods or a certain type of environment, your body kind of mutates. So, overall, I think that African genes have a little bit more durability than many European genes on certain things, I would say.
Okay, I hear you. Numbers high that hospitals they're gonna get more money thrown at them. Municipalities and cities is gonna get more money given to them. There's a mathematical equation to why it's also important to keep the numbers high. I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm definitely saying that it seems like a plausible possibility because, like, even when we look in New York and we look at the that Cuomo was giving, and he's talking about the beds and the emergencies and how the projected number is always a lot higher than the actual number. And even in certain places, I think it was Michigan, that they were panicking over respirators and they needed so many respirators. We need the respirators. We need the respirators. The projected number was a certain number, but they ended up sending respirators to other places because they didn't need them all. And so I'm wondering, is there a disparity on how this stuff is being reported? And is there something going on with the way that the number of deaths are being tabulated? And my question would be why? And so go ahead, Greta, and I'm going to give you the final word on this.
There's a lot going on that's unanswered, and there's also an underlying reason why these things are going on unanswered. It's a matter of really finding out why. But there's a lot unanswered, and a lot of intellectual people are questioning many things right now.
Absolutely. There are a lot of people questioning things. And again, you know what? I think it's okay to ask questions, especially if things are not adding up. But again, be safe. Do what you got to do to make sure you don't. Man, I appreciate it.
All right, man. Anytime.
I appreciate it. Hey, you guys, everybody, thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, if you watch on Facebook, everybody out there in terrestrial radio land, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying by. Look, we had to have a tough conversation earlier. I wanted to know, and I want to thank you guys for all your wonderful answers and being able to answer in a cogent fashion that isn't just full of emotion and vigor, but actually giving a cogent answer. This is 1230 The Source. My name is Tyrone Irvin. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Peace. And stay away from people. I'm out.
One time for the legendary Rakim.
One time for the legendary Zero. Southwest St. Louis, Texas, this was, baby. Off the bat, I attack. Word to Bruce Wayne. I spit crack and I stay strapped. Don't need a shoestring, but don't confuse shepherd and keep a new frame. My mind so you can see that I'm different. That's worth the 2 chains. Ooh. Still the same OG. I stay low key with more sauce than AO lead. I play OD when blessings start to rain on me.
All right, Charles.
Chips and guac, AO lead. Ooh. That's monetary blessings for you slow people. My flow a monastery for them extra hope people that don't get commentary and get honored ready for the guava jelly they produce, even though they get thrown fecal. Mad dog, plat dog, made by their oppressor. I shatter all the chatter that seem to make us lesser than anybody that only grows the same way I do. It could be my the way I get this rocket with my crew, but it ain't my bed chuku, which means praise God. But just like face mob, I knew too well just how good it felt to be a gangster. Roll emojis and bankers, but somehow found sanctums. All up and through the streets of A-Leaf, who up 8 beats, but in my pants kept 8 crease. Now I slay beats, remember when I freaks back when Sherwin worked at Popeyes and was sneaking 8 box of chicken straight through the drive-thru. Back when we was young, dumb, and broke in high school, and we would dodge guns and swung on those in Pyro and would ride, live, and die by one concise rule. That's unless it's a one-on-one, no spectator.